Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Friday, July 18, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, indignation as leak shows a government-used vehicle purchased for $250,000. 5 men injured in Belize City shooting. Police officer stabbed outside Belmopan nightclub. And Westline owner supports public-private bus partnership. New stakeholder committee formed to oversee proposed national bus company. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
B-Box offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Box. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank. Building the future together.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
It's the Kikoker Lobster Fest 2025, and it's all going down Friday, July 18th, Saturday, July 19th, and Sunday, July 20th. The action kicks off Friday, July 18th with the opening ceremony at 7 p.m. with performances by the Belize Dance Company, Mariachi Los Halcones, and Agents of Groove.
From the time I reach, I walk in my way.
Then the action moves to Saturday, July 19th and Sunday, July 20th with a beach party, the Fisherman Lobster Competition and games, and music all day. On Saturday night, July 19th, you've got to be inside the dance called Rhythm and Waves with guest DJ Brandon Duke.
I just wanna party, party, party.
Lobster food and dishes will be on the menu for the entire Lobster Fest. Musical entertainment all weekend by DJ Julian, Via Starter Sound, DJ Emo, DJ Silva, DJ Chris, Evolution Sound, Prince Kevin, and the Youth Connection Band, hosted by DJ Dalla. This year's Kikoker Lobster Fest sponsored by the Kikoker Village Council, Belize Tourism Board, Belikin, LED Belize, Travelers Rum, Rapidito Construction Depot, Atlantic Bank Limited, San Pedro Belize Express, Blue Zen, San Pedro Town Council, Tropic Air Limited, and Belize Bank Limited. It's the annual Kikoker Lobster Fest, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Measles is a virus that is highly infectious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It often starts with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes, followed by a rash that spreads all over the body. Measles can cause serious complications. But here's the good news. Measles is preventable. The safest and most effective way to protect your child is through vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe and available at your nearest health centers and clinics. Let's keep our families and communities safe. Get vaccinated. Stay protected. Brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in partnership with PAHO and UNICEF.
Belize introduced its new electronic passport in 2022 through the launch of the Electronic Passport Issuance and Control System, EPICS. The e-passport includes an electronic chip that safeguards the holder's personal information and photograph. It also features a verification mechanism compatible with biometric systems such as smart gates at international borders. The passport's design reflects national pride, showcasing Belizean landmarks and symbols. It incorporates 26 modern security elements to prevent fraud and corruption. The introduction of the e-passport aims to enhance security, improve processing efficiency, and reduce application backlogs, benefiting Belizeans both domestically and abroad. The Ministry of Immigration, strengthening national sovereignty, security, and socio-economic development.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. A leaked letter showing a purchase by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, Culture and Immigration of a used 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser for $250,000 Belize dollars that is now making the rounds is causing great indignation. The CEO in the ministry, Amalia Mai, informs the seller, Car Guys Belize Limited, of the contracted details for the purchase dated March 31, 2025. An online search shows the cost in the U.S. of a new Toyota Land Cruiser is anywhere between $108,000 Belize dollars to $154,000 Belize dollars. This, of course, would be separate from shipping and duty. In a post on Facebook, the Public Service Union uploaded the picture of the letter from Ambassador Mai and wrote, quote, "Here is one of several $250,000 reason to smile. It's called a mandate for used vehicles. Seeing this, believing," end quote. The union also called on public officers to keep the leaks coming, stating, quote, "Your children's future depends on your willingness to stand against abuse of public resources and corruption," end quote. At a recent press conference, the president of the PSU had reported that there is a new group of individuals and companies that the Briceño administration is using to purchase vehicles for the government service outside of the recognized sellers. 5 men were injured in a single shooting incident in Belize City Thursday night. The men, mostly fishers, were all socializing on Aloe Vera Street in the St. Martin de Porres area when 2 men on bicycle arrived and fired several shots at them. The men were identified as 20-year-old Aristotle Hughes, 28-year-old James Young Jr., 18-year-old Jermaine Smart, 34-year-old Douglas Gill, and 34-year-old Lizmo Williams. One of the men has since been released while the others remain in stable condition. Police have detained several people. Among the angles police are following is a rivalry between groups in the area. ACP Gilberto Romero today reported that they will enforce their patrols in the area.
Responded to a shooting incident at Aloe Vera Street in Belize City. Upon the arrival, they received information that 5 persons had been shot. They were all taken to the KHMH for treatment. They have all been treated and are all in a stable condition. They were identified as Aristotle Hughes, James Young, Jermaine Smart, Douglas Gill, and Lizmo Williams. Information is that all of them were at a yard at Aloe Vera when 2 male persons came on a bicycle and fired several shots towards their direction. We have several persons in custody in regards to this investigation.
A police officer was stabbed to the shoulder after one this morning. 29-year-old Oliver Gyron from Belmopan was at a local nightclub with a friend and stepped outside to change his shirt. During that time, he says he was attacked by 4 men. In the struggle, he was stabbed. He was assisted by someone and was later transported to the hospital. He has since been discharged. The Ministry of Transport's proposed public-private national bus partnership has been a polarizing topic of late. Bus line owners against the idea have been the most vocal, but there have been those who are in support. Sergio Chuk is the owner of a West Line which runs out the Cayo district, and he is among those in favor of the proposed plan. Today he told the media that he had a similar idea some time ago.
This idea, I had floated it around in 2006, 2007 when I was part of the Belize Bus Cooperative. Yeah, we were, I think that at that time about 14 actual bus owners, and there were about 20 or so other members that did not have a bus, but they were members of the cooperative. And I was trying to get the owners to come together and form a national company, or if not a national company, that was when Novelos was the demise of the Novelos Bus Company. So if we stay as a cooperative, to at least put in a company style of operation where we would hire outside brains, outside managers that were competent enough. And after a couple of years, I gave up. We couldn't do it with the then directors, executive of the BBOC. And after about 2011, they kicked me out of the cooperative, and I went on my own as Westline. And between then and now, I've outgrown the cooperative by leaps and bounds, And that is what will happen right here. I think now that the government is spearheading the initiative, they will put legislation in place to protect the company. And we could only see the service get better. I really believe in it.
Chook said it's the smaller operators who are more skeptical about the plan.
Well, I believe the smaller operators are the ones with the more concern, with the biggest concern being that they don't understand how a company system works, and they believe that they will lose what they have worked their whole life for, and they don't want that. They have an attachment to their small business. You can't really fault them for that. Some of them have their kids driving, their wife managing, or so on, and joining the national bus company, they will lose control. They will not lose money, but they will lose control, and that is their biggest fear. But if it comes to strictly economic aspect out of it, they understand that they will do better, because the company will hire them as drivers or as conductors, and then they will still also be collecting dividends whenever the board decides if you collect the dividends either quarterly, biannually, or annually.
Oswin Blees is the owner of Fui Transport Services, and he has agreed to join the National Bus Company. He is also a member of the advisory committee. He explained why he feels being involved is the right decision.
It is not something that he wants to see just coming from the government side of things. He is looking at getting all bodies involved, right, that can help to provide advice and looked at the way forward, and so that it is not just from the government pushing this national thing down our throat, but it's for us to I as an operator, right, and I can lend that support, and I can share advice from how we as operators look at things, and from even the not looking, but even the commuters that ride our buses, and we get some of their concerns as well. So we are here. I'm here on the board to lend that support to the process. Well, I think fear is one of the main things. Like, I mean, a change of status quo, and so for me, I look at it from a business concept, from investing in something that will provide me with a pension down the road, so I can sit at home and relax and benefit from everybody's little pinch, right? That now I can benefit from, instead of me as a single company having to fight hard to sustain my operation. And I believe that maybe another 2 years down the road, I will crumble and I will go into demise. But being a part of the national company, or the modernized company, I will be able to sustain my operation through the partnership.
After the break, Education Ministry counting student assistance in support to UB and Government of Belize to pump financing into sargassum emergency response. Stay with us.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Appliances that just don't last? Appliances that just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality, choose reliability, choose GE.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que le va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día, para 10 días, y va a estar bien después, ¿eh?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Planning a trip to Belize? Here's how to complete your I Declare Arrival form in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Visit belizetravel.immigration.gov.bz. Step 2. Select the appropriate forms for arrivals. Choose Arriving to Belize. Step 3. Provide your origin trip details, including your departure airport and country of residence. Step 4. Carefully complete the immigration form. Add dependents if necessary. Declare baggage, currency, and merchandise, and confirm your entries are correct. Step 5. Download your completed form and take a screenshot of your QR code and reference ID to present to the immigration officer. Thank you for using Belize iTravel. Safe journey.
A new advisory subcommittee composed of stakeholders in the transportation sector has been formed to oversee the proposed consolidated national bus company. The group had its inaugural meeting today. Among other things, they received an overview of the developments thus far. Minister of Transport Dr. Louis Zabanet shared more details of the committee and its objectives.
Today was our first meeting, and the Pro Tem subcommittee comprises a member from UNDP, someone from the media, the University of Belize, the Attorney General's Ministry, Statistical Institute of Belize, the Ministry of Economic Transformation, the Ministry of Housing and Infrastructure Development, one of the actual operators from the industry, and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. So we have a good cross-section of partners, of stakeholders who will be working closely with us as we move forward through the different stages of this process. Yeah, we want to ensure that as we are developing the structure, as we are moving forward with the different components that will go into this new company, that our stakeholders are there every step of the way so that they can share their inputs, they can give advice, they can share their perspectives, that by the time implementation kicks in on the 1st of January 2026 next year, that we would have benefited from all of that rich input. We want to make sure that the product that we have for the Belizean people is the best that we could come up with.
Dr. Zabanet explained that new technologies are to be implemented with the new company. He said the first will be introduced to the public in the coming weeks as the inter-district e-buses will offer digital payment options.
When the 3 buses that will now start to run the highways come on stream in the next few weeks, that we will be having a cashless system for the commuters to pay. And this is critical because we know that one of the weaknesses that we've had in our highway bus system is that operators don't generally get all their income because it has to go through the hands of conductors, and not all of them are honest, to be blunt. And that's been a challenge. But when you use these cards, the cash goes direct to the bank, and that helps in increasing the revenue. So we talked about that. We talked about electronic scheduling system in which we'd be able to use GPS to track our buses where they are, to check their speed, to also have cameras within the buses. Then we also talk about the new fleet of buses, up to 200 that we're planning to bring in to replace what is there now over a 2-year period. How the funding would come about for that. We discussed funding sources and how we would then put all of that in an implementation plan that would form an important part of the prospectus that investors, institutional investors like Social Security, like the insurance companies would need for them to be able to make a decision on whether or not to invest in this venture.
Dr. Zabanet reported that of the 31 bus operators, 22 have now signed on to join the new company. He said more are contemplating their options.
So we have up to 22 now. We still have some coming in who are signing, and we are really grateful to them to express their support for the process at this point that will include primarily the valuation of their operations using 2 methodologies. One is asset base, what they have there, that will come into the company that the company would be able to use, and the cash flow approach. So the auditors that are being hired to do that know that this is the methodology that will be used, and these 22 or so operators at this point have expressed that they are willing to go through that process.
Is it the ministry's expectation that all operators will sign on, or have there been some who have given a firm no?
Yeah, we would love for the 31 operators to be on board. First of all, in terms of the audit, there will be a non-disclosure agreement that the auditors will sign with each operator so that it's confidential and it's at no cost to the operators. So it would be in their best interest to participate in this phase. It's not a commitment that you will hand in your assets or anything to a new company. It is for us to get an idea of what the overall industry looks like today, its profitability or lack of profitability, and how you'd compare that now with projections from the National Bus Company, and you can see what your dividend stream will likely provide to you and compare that with what you are making or not making right now.
20-year-old Clarissa Rosalie Granil Rodriguez was stabbed to death on Wednesday, July 16, after 9 p.m. in Spanish Lookout, Cayo. She had been stabbed by one of her partner's brothers who fled the scene. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero reported that he was detained further west in Cayo.
We have since arrested and charged Eris Gavarete, a Honduran national, for the crime of murder.
Was she killed because she was playing music loud?
That is the information we have. The dispute began when they were playing music and they had been asked to lower the music.
Does she have a history of domestic violence in this relationship?
Not that we know of. They recently came to Belize.
3 of her family members got detained before the perpetrator was detained. Why were they detained?
An investigation had to be carried out to determine what actually transpired. So they were brought in, and the investigation has now been concluded, and that one person has been charged.
Originally, the police had put out a wanted poster. Where did they end up finding the suspect?
The suspect was found in Santa Elena in the Cayo district.
Was he hiding in somebody else's? Was somebody else holding him?
No, he was in an area at an abandoned house.
According to this week's cabinet briefing, the Minister of Education, Honorable Oscar Requena, reported at Tuesday's meeting that the government's assistance to the University of Belize totals $13.5 million and includes the annual $7.5 million subvention and more than $6 million in financial assistance to students. There was no reference to the reduction in the subvention of over $3 million that occurred in 2020 during the pandemic under the last Dean Barrow administration. The minister likewise highlighted that in its call for a 9% salary adjustment, the UB Faculty and Staff Union has said it is a matter between the management and the union. What is not stated in the release is that the union has reported that management has said the salary increase promised in April this year is contingent on the reinstatement of the subvention, which the PUP committed to do while it was in opposition. The union also reported that the Briceño administration has not followed through on a commitment to allocate the subvention reinstatement in the 2025-2026 budget and has said it will do all that is necessary to secure its salary adjustment. On Tuesday, Cabinet discussed the crisis situation regarding sargassum that it says has increased by 70% in the region compared to the last major episode that occurred in 2022. Cabinet has now endorsed an emergency response plan to be carried out by the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of the Blue Economy. It includes making available financial assistance to support cleanup operations in affected coastal communities. The government says it will allocate funding and offer incentives to facilitate the collection and transportation of sargassum to designated disposal sites. The plan is to also develop medium to long-term strategies to address the persistent problem. Cabinet has also announced that the National Identification Pilot Project was successful, and as a result, it has granted approval for the full-scale rollout of the National ID. This will feature the implementation of a comprehensive onboarding strategy to ensure that all citizens are registered in a timely and effective manner. Last year, the Belize Cancer Society launched the Men Against Cancer initiative, which aims to encourage men to seek regular medical care as a means of a preventative approach to cancer and other illnesses. This year, the initiative continued at the Men's Health Forum on Thursday. Pathologist Dr. Hugh Sanchez spoke on the need for the initiative, saying that after high school age, most boys and men don't visit the doctor.
Unlike women who, because of their stages of development, they will be seen sometime when they get pregnant. So after finishing school, they will be seen for another 10 or 15 years regularly. During that time, men are not being seen. And as a result, men are considered the neglected species. Be as it may, we came up with this MAC, Men Against Cancer, where we are trying to encourage men and boys to intentionally take care of their health and to be proactive in maintaining a healthy lifestyle and to be aware of signs and symptoms that may contribute to ill health.
Dr. Hugh Sanchez, a pathologist, explained that many times a healthy immune system can help the body fight cancer cells. He spoke on the more common types of cancer in Belize and explained how a healthy lifestyle can help boost our immune system.
Looking at some of the common cancers in my experience, Belize, right? In men, certainly lung cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, right? And I will be addressing a little few discussions on skin cancer as well. Namely, the one that will kill you is the one that had caused the death of our legendary Bob Marley, melanoma. With any cancer, it begins with a cell that became aberrant, and it starts dividing and grow and grow and grow and grow till they form a mass. When it presents with a mass, it has been there for some time, 5 years, 10 years. So it tells me that we men need to maintain a healthy body, a healthy lifestyle, including a healthy BMI, a body mass index, right? Which means that we need to be mindful of our diet, our stress level, our exercise pattern, our sleeping pattern, and to this end, we can help the body fight off these aberrant cells. What I'm trying to say is that we all form cancer cells every day as the cells they divide. But the body is so wonderfully made that with health and an immune system that is intact, it destroys them and we are free. So when the immune system is distorted, it's then cancer may get a report.
There are several symptoms that can act as warning signs that the body is fighting cancer cells. Dr. Sanchez shared some warning signs for some types of cancer.
If you were to cough up blood, that's a harbinger of something is wrong. It's not decaying tooth. Something is wrong. It needs to be evaluated. And a chest x-ray is an easy way to have an assessment done. And other tests that can be done for the lung cancer, sputum analysis, right, bronchoscopy, etc. When it comes to, for example, the colorectal cancer, what you need to be mindful of there is your change in bowel habit. Meaning that if you normally will go out every day and all of a sudden you start going out every 3 days, every week, something is wrong. Or when you pass your motion, instead of it being your normal stool, you have slime or blood, that's a harbinger that something is wrong. All right. So you need to get your evaluation, your stool test, your colonoscopy, and based on that, you can determine what is wrong with you. For the prostate cancer, which is the male cancer, the commonest cancer in men, the age is a factor there, and a family history of cancer. And I would just advocate that we need to do our screen. Basically, the screen will be the PSA, the prostatic specific antigen, and we need to evaluate the patient's well-being.
Another type of cancer that Belizeans should be wary of, especially as we are in the summer months, is skin cancer. Dr. Sanchez spoke of the warning signs.
Skin cancer, we worry about the sun exposure and the skin changes. The skin cancers normally will not really kill you. The basal cell carcinomas, which are usually found in the sun exposed area, and those are little lesions that just don't get better. Sores, just ulcers that don't get better. That is normally the basal cell carcinoma, face, nose, right? But the one that is disconcerting is the little moles, the little flesh moles and so forth. We are concerned about those if they are changing in color and if they are becoming itchy. That suggests that something is going amiss with the skin. And the thing we look forward to these moles is whether it is a melanoma transformation taking place. And that one is more sinister because melanoma is a real sinister cancer that can kill. And the evidence that Bob Marley had died from it is evidence for that.
After the break, BNN proposes concept of positive peace rather than 13th constitutional amendment. Stay tuned.
It's the Kikoker Lobster Fest 2025, and it's all going down Friday, July 18th, Saturday, July 19th, and Sunday, July 20th. The action kicks off Friday, July 18th with the opening ceremony at 7 p.m. with performances by the Belize Dance Company, Mariachi Los Halcones, and Agents of Groove.
From the time I reach, I walk in my way.
Then the action moves to Saturday, July 19th and Sunday, July 20th with a beach party, the Fisherman Lobster Competition and games, and music all day. On Saturday night, July 19th, you've got to be inside the dance called Rhythm and Waves with guest DJ Brandon Duke. Lobster food and dishes will be on the menu for the entire Lobster Fest. Musical entertainment all weekend by DJ Julian, via Starter Sound, DJ Emo, DJ Silva, DJ Chris, Evolution Sound, Prince Kevin, and the Youth Connection Band, hosted by DJ Dalla. This year's Kikoker Lobster Fest sponsored by the Kikoker Village Council, Belize Tourism Board, Belikin, LED Belize, Travelers Rum, Rapidito Construction Depot, Atlantic Bank Limited, San Pedro Belize Express, Blue Zen, San Pedro Town Council, Tropic Air Limited, and Belize Bank Limited. It's the annual Kikoker Lobster Fest, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? Get the essentials you need to stay safe this hurricane season, such as plywood, tarp and rope, first aid kit, rubber boots, raincoats and rain ponchos, generator, portable radio and batteries, flashlight and kerosene lanterns. Weather the storm with these products and more from Benny's. Quality and savings.
It's the Kikoker Lobster Fest 2025, and it's all going down Friday, July 18th, Saturday, July 19th, and Sunday, July 20th. The action kicks off Friday, July 18th with the opening ceremony at 7 p.m. with performances by the Belize Dance Company, Mariachi Los Halcones, and Agents of Groove.
From the time I reach, I walk in my way.
Then the action moves to Saturday, July 19th and Sunday, July 20th with a beach party, the Fisherman Lobster Competition and games, and music all day. On Saturday night, July 19th, you've got to be inside the dance called Rhythm and Waves with guest DJ Brandon Duke. Lobster food and dishes will be on the menu for the entire Lobster Fest. Musical entertainment all weekend by DJ Julian, Firestarter Sound, DJ Emo, DJ Silva, DJ Chris, Evolution Sound, Prince Kevin, and the Youth Connection Band, hosted by DJ Dalla. This year's Kikoker Lobster Fest sponsored by the Kikoker Village Council, Belize Tourism Board, Pelican, LED Belize, Travelers Rum, Rapidito Construction Depot, Atlantic Bank Limited, San Pedro Belize Express, Blue Zen, San Pedro Town Council, Tropic Air Limited, and Belize Bank Limited. It's the annual Kikoker Lobster Fest, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp. Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
The Belize network of NGOs has raised concerns about the 13th constitutional amendment that would specifically allow for anti-crime SOEs. At Wednesday's public consultation led by the respective House Committee on the bill, Marla Magana Cancino, executive manager of the BNN, was present and introduced the concept of positive peace versus negative peace. It is based on whether the root causes of crime are addressed or not.
Negative peace refers to the absence of direct violence or conflict, but without addressing the underlying structural or cultural causes of that violence, such as poverty, inequality, corruption, discrimination, or a lack of opportunity. Ms. Smith described a situation where crime rates have gone down as a result of these SOEs. That may be true, but let's not confuse that to mean that the issue of crime has been solved, because it has not. Once the state of emergency is lifted, crime and unrest may resurge, possibly even more intensely, because the underlying grievances have deepened. What we really need to focus on is on achieving positive peace, a peace that breaks the cycle of violence. Positive peace is more than just the absence of violence. It is the presence of justice, equity, and inclusive institutions that prevent conflict from arising in the first place. So investing in education, youth employment, and I'm talking not just call centers, and community services, addressing police accountability and justice reform, strengthening governance, transparency, and rule of law, those are some of the things we should be focusing on, and it takes work and political will. The alternative, I heard someone say the alternative, and I think this is the alternative, but it requires a lot of political will and the desire to see sustainable peace.
In other news, at the end of June, there was a flash flood that severely impacted communities in the Orange Walk district. The event was swift as rain started Wednesday, but an intense rainfall into Friday morning had areas flooded out by the evening. Today we spoke with Principal Hydrologist Tennille Hendy, who described in more detail what occurred.
There was an excessive rainfall outlook that was mentioned by the National Met Service, and so if memory serves, it was about 12 inches or so over a 24 to 48 hour period. If we remember the incident before, or the event before that, where the same area was impacted more or less, it was just about 6 inches of rainfall.
Then how many days before?
That was a previous year's event. It was not this year. But that's just the most recent one that we have to compare with. So judging from that event compared to this latest one at the end of June, the area actually received double the amount of rainfall. And so flooding would have been a natural occurrence for that area. We have to look at multiple factors. It's not just one individual factor that we need to look at. Precipitation being one of them, how much rainfall. We need to look at the rate of land clearing. We need to look at the drainage system. We have to look at the environment, because most of these areas have naturally existing water retention areas to assist with the flooding issue. So we can't really point fingers in one direction. There are multiple facets that would impact urban flooding with that volume of rainfall.
So the topography you're saying also impacted greatly?
The topography, the soil structure, savannas naturally hold water. That's a part of their function. They hold water and then it infiltrates into your groundwater system. But when you get an excessive volume and the soil moisture is already wet, it doesn't have that capacity to absorb the water downwards. So now it will flow horizontally. And what happens is that it flows horizontally until it can't go horizontal anymore, and then it starts to go vertical. And that's where you see it spreads out over a large space of area. And then when that is maxed out, if we want, it will then go up and over. So we always need to remember that water takes the least part of resistance. So it doesn't fight anything, it will go around it. And if it has enough velocity, enough strength, it will move structures.
The Saturday, people were already returning to their homes?
Right. So what happens is the water runs from high to low. The New River at the time, if memory recalls, it was not flooding. So it had the capacity to absorb that urban flooding runoff, surface runoff into the riverbed. Now, it would have been a different situation if the New River was also flooded. You would have probably seen a longer retention time on the land surface. But if you're large drainage system, which is usually rivers, if those are not flooded, then they have the ability to absorb some of that surface runoff into the river system, and so you have that quick runoff time in terms of the urban flooding.
On Saturday night at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts in Belize City, beginning at 7, there will be a special show celebrating women over 70. The star of the show will be Maureen Borden-Utzman, with a special guest, singer Nelita Castillo. The show will basically feature Utzman performing a one-woman show on the stories of her life. Castillo spoke of what can be expected on Saturday, as well as her guest performance.
And she is doing her one-woman story of her life. It's like her biography, and she invited me to be the what you call the prologue. But since the program is called Women Over 70 Making Their Voices Heard, I am going to be talking about. I am going to be singing songs from my whole life, different songs in English and Spanish. And talk a little bit about what they mean to me and where I was when I sang them. So if you want to know a little bit more about the arc of my singing, you have to come and listen, okay? So music has always been the golden thread in my life. Everything I have always done has been in order that I sing. I traveled to Mexico. I left Belize when I was 17. I studied abroad. I went to London. I worked in New York and studied in New York. And most of my professional life was in Mexico, actually, in Mexico City, and later Cancun, because they have a culture of live music, see? So that's really where I spread my wings a lot.
In sporting news, the Belize Under-15 boys national football team will represent the country in the CONCACAF Under-15 tournament taking place in Aruba in early August. FFB President Sergio Chuk is confident that the team will do well. The FFB is so confident that they're booked to leave at a later date, expecting the boys to advance.
The goals continue being the same that they have been for the last 5 years or so when we put the program in place, believe in the process. As I spoke this morning, I recognized a couple of the youths them who started off when I saw them and I was amazed. They couldn't kick a ball. They didn't know how to run. And now they are part of the national team of Belize. The process is working. This is our Under-15. We've had them together for some time now. This is the last group that is together and will represent us in August in Aruba in the CONCACAF U15 tournament. So these are our champions right now. We are very, very, very proud of them. We are in a really tough group. We are against Jamaica, who's a powerhouse, especially at this age, against Curaçao, which has the better European academies right there in the island. You know, they are affiliated with the Netherlands, their mother country, and so they have big academies over there with PSV Eindhoven and the bigger clubs in Holland. So they have a very good youth system, and of course the host team is always a challenge. They always make life complicated because they play with the heart, and I believe the team is well prepared also.
The team's head coach, Dale Pelayo, spoke on the selection process and the progress the boys have made since they started training.
We started earlier, late last year, in going around the country and having tryouts in the different districts, in the different villages, in scouting player for the U15 national team. when we finished, we came up with about 60 players from countrywide that we brought in on 2 weekends. We did the south and the west, and then we did the north and the central, which is Belize City and San Pedro. And so we came up with those 60 players and bring in half one weekend and half the other weekend. And then we came up with a list of about 35 players out of that 60. And that's where we started the process in trying to put a team together. And today I can say we have 20 players, and out of this 20, 18 will be traveling to Aruba for the CONCACAF U15 tournament.
So as the coach, what are you instilling in your team going into this tournament?
Well, one of the first thing was to put this team together was, you bring in a lot of players from different perspectives, players who are for the first time playing within a system, playing organized football, and so it was quite a challenge. But up today, if you can watch these guys playing from where they were 14 weeks now into training and how they are playing, it's significant improvement. And for us going to this U15 tournament, it's a eye-opener for many of these kids. For the first time, we'll be traveling outside, playing at a higher level in this tournament. So our expectation is to go out there and to represent well. I believe we have what it takes to compete against Jamaica, Curacao and Aruba.
Team member Stefan Harris said the boys are prepared to make history for Belize.
The mindset for the team, some days after practice we go in each other's room, we sit down. We thought was like, when we go to Aruba, we are not going to go on for the trip. We're going to win the tournament and make history for Belize.
What's the practice been like for the team?
The practice we have so far is very hard. We push. The coaches spend time. We're training hard rain. Sometimes we're up from 5:30, 6:30 to train in the morning. Evening we're training in sun hot. And then the coach pushing us so we can do great. And at this point right now we're making good progress, because right now we're in a U17 tournament. We make finals. We will be playing here Saturday at the FFB Stadium against Belize City.
Now, what do they expect out of this tournament?
Well, the Aruba tournament, we expect a lot. We expect to bring history for Belize and ourselves, because I'll say if we win the tournament, FFB and Belize will be watching on us. So if any other tournament like U17, semi-pro, they will call us, because we have a mindset that we're going to win and we're not going for the trip.
And this summer, the Institute of Creative Arts is collaborating with libraries from across the country to teach librarians how to create puppets. They are being taught by famed Mexican puppet master Raquel Robles Pacheco. She spoke on the type of puppets the librarians made and how quickly they were able to learn the artwork.
Este año regresamos.
This year we came back. The librarians participated in a workshop on creating puppets, and now they are doing a mask making workshop. They participated in both. The puppets are also since they work with children, to interact with them, tell them stories, and get their attention so they read a book. At the same time, the masks will represent a character. They decided to make toucans and tigers this time, but they'll keep the templates to make the rest of the characters. I think the Muppets workshop was difficult for them because it is difficult since the librarians are doing it for the first time. Other groups have been doing the puppets for years. The Humanities Department works with young children to create the puppets.
Assistant librarian at the Lake Independence Library, Mara Itza, shared how learning puppet making will assist them in the future with the kids. She also showed off her own creation.
It impacts us a lot because we're working with children, summer program, with Child Stimulation Month, with our doorstep tales on Saturday. So this will help us in our creativity that we do to teach the children. You know, children love puppets. Even adults love puppets. Yeah, so it will be good for us, good for the job that we're doing, good for the work, good for the kids.
Now, you created this puppet?
Yes, I made this puppet.
You named him?
He's Juan Gabriel.
So tell me, it's the first time you are creating a puppet.
Yes, it was very, very challenging at first, but at the ending, it became good. And here I am with Juan Cabral.
You will likely create many more.
Yes, I will, because I want to make a wife for him. And maybe some kids.
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again Monday at midday. Join us again Monday for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.
Thank you.